My son testified that I hit him every night. When the lawyer asked what time, he answered, Mommy told me. Mommy told me to say bedtime. The courtroom went utterly silent. My ex-wife's attorney froze mid-step, and the judge leaned forward, glasses sliding down her nose. My 6-year-old son, sitting in that massive wooden chair, looked at his mother like he'd just failed the biggest test of his life. I gripped the table, knuckles white. 14 months of being treated like a monster, 14 months of hell, and in those 8 innocent words, my son had just revealed a truth nobody wanted to hear. It all started when I asked for joint custody. That same week, my ex-wife filed an emergency motion, claiming I was violent. Suddenly, teachers were pulling my son aside, asking if Daddy scared him. A social worker was in my apartment, taking photos of my kitchen knives. First, I lost my Thursday dinners, then my weekend overnights. By month 3, I was seeing my own child in a supervised facility, cameras in every corner. The supervisor watched me like I might explode if my son spilled his juice. It was a nightmare. My son would walk in, reciting phrases no 6-year-old uses. I don't feel safe when Daddy raises his voice. Daddy makes bad choices that hurt my feelings. Once, he told the supervisor I threw a chair at him. I'd never thrown anything in my life, but when I asked him to describe it, he said, it was purple with flowers. We don't own any purple furniture. The supervisor wrote it down anyway. That night, something snapped. I started recording our conversations through the glass. 31 instances I captured, my son contradicting himself, forgetting details, asking me, did I say it right? I compiled everything, every single painful detail, and handed it to my attorney. The custody evaluation changed everything. Dr. Hammond, the court-appointed therapist, spent 6 hours with my son. She noticed the patterns I'd been documenting for months. His answers were perfect when reciting accusations, but completely blank when asked follow-up questions. She asked him what hitting feels like. He said he didn't know. She asked him to show her where I hit him. He pointed at his knee, his shoulder, his ear, different places each time. She asked what happens after Daddy hits him. He shrugged, looking lost, and said, Mommy didn't practice that part with me. Dr. Hammond didn't stop there. She requested my ex-wife's phone records. What she found made her call the judge directly. The texts between my ex and her sister were brutal. Exhibits A through F, make sure he says it happened at night. That sounds scarier. Tell him to cry when he talks about it or they won't believe him. If he forgets, just pinch his arm under the table so he remembers. 43 messages spanning 8 months, detailed scripts, rehearsal schedules, rewards promised for good performances. My ex had been coaching our son like he was preparing for an audition. There was even a video of them practicing, my son repeating phrases while she corrected his tone. Say it sadder, baby. Daddy was really mean. Remember? He didn't remember because it never happened. The courtroom audio from that day would become the evidence that ended this. My ex's attorney had put my son on the stand, expecting a flawless, rehearsed performance. Instead, he got a scared little boy who couldn't keep his story straight. When the lawyer asked what time I hit him, my son panicked. He looked at his mother. She mouthed something, but he was too nervous to read her lips. So he said the only thing he remembered from practice, Mommy told me to say bedtime. The judge called an immediate recess. My ex tried to leave the courtroom, but a bailiff blocked the door. Her attorney asked to withdraw from the case on the spot. 30 minutes later, the judge called us back. Her voice was ice. She'd reviewed Dr. Hammond's report. She'd seen the text messages. She'd watched the practice video. She looked at my ex-wife and said, you have systematically manipulated your child into making false accusations against his father. You have caused immeasurable psychological harm to both your son and the man you married. My ex started sobbing, loud and theatrical, the same performance she taught our son. It didn't work this time. Full custody is awarded to the father, effective immediately, the judge declared. The mother will have supervised visitation pending a psychological evaluation. I'm also referring this case to the district attorney for potential charges of perjury, filing false reports, and child abuse. My son lives with me full-time now. My ex-wife was charged with 4 felonies and is awaiting trial. It was a long, brutal fight, but knowing my son is safe, truly safe, and free from that manipulation, that's a victory worth every single moment of pain. Have you ever had to fight for the truth against overwhelming lies?